It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I'll be reviewing Impact Wrestling. I do apologize for starting late, people, but oh my god! So tonight's Impact was the fallout from Rebellion, and let's talk about this opening segment. So Violent by Design opened up, and that wasn't the biggest talking point of this segment. So they opened up, they cut a little promo saying that power and control is what they desired and is what they took. And they ran to the gauntlet and beat 7 other tag teams that the world had to offer. Then Heath and Rhino came out, and honestly, this kind of took me out a little bit because I've seen Violent by Design versus Heath and Rhino, and I'm just tired of it. So the Briscoes brothers come out and say that them boys are in the house. Jay says that they're crazy. People thought they weren't gonna come after the BS that took place at Multiverse. And said everywhere they go, they've won titles, and it won't be different here. So they basically make their intentions known that they want the tag titles. So Heath welcomes the Briscoe brothers. And he says that everyone loves them, but Impact is a new world. And he says Heath and Rhino and himself are the front in the line, and the Briscoes need to go to the back of the line. And Jay tells Heath that they don't go to the back for anybody. So then Eric Young says that this is looking like a you problem and not an us problem. He says Violent by Design doesn't have a problem. They are the problem. And then whoever's left standing, they'll see them later. So then Rhino basically says that they want those titles. And he knows that damn sure they want those titles more than the Briscoe brothers. And that they're going to kick them. They're going to beat them up right here, right now. So this leads into the opening contest. It's Heath and Rhino versus the Briscoes brothers. And I was surprised by how good of a match this was. This was actually not a bad match, So I really like that double shoulder tackle to Rhino by the Briscoes. And then he ended up breaking up that pin. And I was really hoping, I was like, come on, the Briscoes are not going to lose this. They can't lose this. And now I was right. The Briscoes ended up winning. And so now they're going to face Violent by Design at Under Siege. And I'm actually looking forward to that match just because I feel like it's going to inject some new life into the tag team division. And that's what Impact needs. They need a new tag teams. They need... it's not nothing against Violent by Design, but it's just their rivalry with Heath and Rhino just took me out last year. Took me out. And honestly, I'm just tired of it. I hope the Briscoes brothers win. And that hopefully opens a new doors for more storylines. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right. So then we get a Moose segment. And he's angry because he tells Scott D'Amore that Josh Alexander got 6 months. 6 whole months to prepare to face him, yet Moose is only given 5 days to prepare. He tells him that he gave the best stab match the company has ever seen, a match that could potentially be Match of the Year candidate. And Moose says that this is how Scott D'Amore repays him. And Scott D'Amore basically says that whoever wins tonight's match between Josh and Moose will face an opponent handpicked by Scott D'Amore. And Moose tells Scott D'Amore he should worry about consoling Josh's family. So, good segment between Moose. Of course, he's being angry because he lost. Then we get the returning VSK, I don't know where he's been, versus the undefeated Bhupinder Gujjar. Good match. Very impressed by Bhupinder Gujjar. Like, ever since he debuted, he's been very impressive. He's undefeated thus far. So VSK throwing his jacket to Bhupinder Gujjar's face. Poor VSK tried his best, but he wasn't able to overcome Bhupinder Gujjar, as Bhupinder Gujjar was victorious after the gargoyle spear to VSK. It's a really cool spear. Like, he sits on the middle rope, grabs on, and then he launches himself, and that's how he spears somebody. But it's a really cool move. All right, so after the match, Raj Singh comes out with Shera, who, if you guys recall, if you've been watching, Raj Singh has been actively trying to recruit Bhupinder Gujjar, and so finally when Bhupinder Gujjar rejected his offer, he went and he found Shera. So Raj Singh tries to talk to Gujjar. At least to me, it looked like he tried to talk to him. And Shera got in his face. Raj tries to keep the peace and break them up, and Shera attacks poor VSK, who did nothing to him. Then we get an Ace Austin segment who says he's a 3-time X Division champion. He did it all on his own, which is true because Mad Fulton wasn't around to help him. He said people thought he couldn't win on his own, but here he is, proof that he could win on his own. He says he is Trey Miguel's greatest weakness. Then Rocky Romero shows up and he congrats Ace Austin on his victory. And he says the best of Super Juniors is coming up, and a champion of his caliber, he offers him an invitation to join the Super Juniors. And Ace Austin accepts Rocky Romero's offer, but then gets mad and kicks Rocky Romero off the set and calling himself an X Division legend and, X Division competitor. And then Rocky Romero challenges Ace Austin to a title match next week, but Ace Austin declines, and then Rocky Romero says he's going to go talk to Scott D'Amore. And then Mike Bailey comes out. He extends his hands to Ace, and Ace is not feeling it. And then Bailey smiling is like, I thought we were friends, which I guess Mike Bailey kind of proves that he knew Ace Austin and was never his friend. So I thought that was a pretty cool segment. I smell a rivalry brewing between the two of them. So then we get a Steve Maclin promo who says that ever since he stepped foot in the company, he stacked bodies and has the body count keep rising. He's done it with Team Impact. Now he's done it with the legend Chris Sabin and the catalyst Jay White. He says there's only one obvious choice for Under Siege, and he said what happens when a walking weapon and a wrestling god meet mayhem? He says you tag them, bag them, mayhem for all. Now, honestly, if you ask me, I want Steve Maclin to face Josh Alexander for the Impact World title. He'll probably lose, but I want that match. Like, I'm a big Steve Maclin fan. Ever since he debuted, like, I've just been a fan. Like, Impact did a really good job at establishing Steve Maclin. So I would really hope that at some point we do get Steve Maclin versus Josh Alexander for the title. All right. So then we get a 6-man tag match. It's Honor No More versus Speedball Mike Bailey in the Motor City Machine Guns. So, according to commentary, the Motor City Machine Guns chose Speedball Mike Bailey as a partner after Bailey's incredible performance against Alex Shelley at the Multiverse of Matches, which was an incredible match, by the way. If you did not see it, you missed out. Like, Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Alex Shelley. So, great match. Great match. All right, so Matt Taven and Speedball Mike Bailey kick things off, but Honor No More end up attacking him, and then like all chaos just like breaks loose in this match. And then at one point, there's like a 3-on-1 onslaught on Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin takes out Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. Somewhere along the lines, Speedball Mike Bailey does a twisting shooting star press to Mike Bennett. And then there was a double kick to Mike Bennett, and then another one by Bailey. Maria and Kenny King distract the referee in hopes of Honor No More being victorious. But in the end, they do end up winning Honor No More. Although it seemed like there was a bit of miscommunication between the Motor City Machine Guns and Alex Bailey. So I wonder if that'll lead to something. Maybe a match between Chris Sabin and Speedball. I'd like to see that. So as Honor No More is like walking away, Bullet Club comes out. As you guys recall, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven cost the Good Brothers their match I don't know why they did that, but they costed the match. So I guess we're setting up. I thought they were going to cost them in the sense that it was going to set them up for like against Violent by Design, but apparently not. So a Bullet Club comes out and they attack Honor No More. Eddie Edwards got sent crashing into the steel post. Jay White choked Mike Bennett, and Bullet Club was basically beating him up at ringside. And then Kenny King got hit with the Magic Killer. So the rivalry is not over. We actually found out that at Under Siege is going to be 5 versus 5. It's going to be Jay White, Chris Bay, the Good Brothers, and El Fantasmo versus Honor No More. So that's going to be a good match. I cannot wait to see that. Then we get a Taya Valkyrie segment, who said that over the last year, she had a long time to self-reflect away from her friends, her family, And now she stands with all of us here in Impact, knowing who she is. She says she knows her worth. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to find the motivation to reach the top again. And that's what she did at Rebellion. And now she's the 4-time AAA Reina de Reinas champion. So I have to say, before I continue, I have to say that little part about having to hit rock bottom and finding motivation to reach the top again, I feel like that's identical and relatable to a lot of people, especially if you started at the top, you got knocked down, and then you need to get back up again. So it's definitely a relatable line if you ask me. I like that. But then Deonna coming running from behind, attacking Taya. And she's just like beating her up. And then DK comes out in the form of Rosemary and Havok. And then like you can see Deonna like walk away. And I really like that moment between where Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. I just started watching with the NFL draft. I didn't tune in. Much appreciate it. Much appreciate you did. Oh, sure, no problem. No problem. I'm just here reviewing the show. It was a good show tonight, Terrence. Definitely a good show. So basically, after Rosemary and DK and Havok come out, like I said, I really like that stare down between Taya and Rosemary. So then Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans come out, and this leads into their match, which is Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans versus Rosemary and Havok. So before the match even starts, Havok steps to Tasha Steelz. Rosemary goes after Savannah Evans. Rosemary leans Savannah Evans onto the barricade, gives her a chest chop. Rosemary, I actually really like this part. Rosemary and Havok send the Briscoes on Impact. Yeah, Adam. The Briscoes showed up on tonight's Impact. They faced Heath and Rhino. It was an incredible match, by the way. I highly suggest you check it out. I really liked it. Briscoes are good. Briscoes are good. Yep. They actually, you missed it, but okay, so whoever won between the Briscoes and Heath and Rhino is going to face Violent by Design for the Impact Tag titles at Under Siege, and the Briscoes won. So they're getting the opportunity to face Violent by Design for the tag titles at Under Siege. I cannot wait. A week from Saturday. All right. So after I was saying, I like when Rosemary and Savannah Evans Rosemary and Havok sent Savannah Evans and Tasha Steelz crashing into each other, which I thought was hilarious. Hello, wow, that's very cool. I loved them when they were super young in ROH. I may have to tune in more now. Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know if they're sticking around for the long term. I guess we have to wait and see what happens at Under Siege. I think that if they win the tag titles, they will probably stick around for a bit longer. I know they were at this set of tapings. I'm not sure if they're going to be at the next ones, though. I guess we got to wait and see what happens at Under Siege. All right. So after that, there was this one part where Rosemary, she beat Savannah Evans. And then Havok did the Death Valley driver to her. And Rosemary, to try to prevent the tag, took Tasha Steelz off the apron. And then Rosemary speared Savannah Evans and allowed DK to be victorious tonight. It's a good match between the ladies. Then we get an All About Me segment. The gist of this is Gizelle Shaw interrupts her segment and she challenges Tenille Dashwood, and Madison accepts on her behalf. So it seems to me like they're setting up. I don't know what happened to Lady Frost. I don't know what happened to her. I think she's out. I don't know how long she's going to be out. But at Multiverse of Matches, Gizelle Shaw and Lady Frost teamed up together to compete again for the Knockouts tag titles. And I actually really like their dynamic and their banter. So I hope when Lady Frost comes back, they continue that. And it seems like they're setting that up because, like I said, Gizelle Shaw interrupted their segment and she challenged Tenille Dashwood. So I'm assuming, once Lady Frost comes back, they might be next in line to challenge for the tag titles. So really excited about that, especially because the inspiration, I'll talk about them at the end of the show. So then we get a backstage segment with PCO and Vincent, who Vincent says you pin monsters against each other for everyone's entertainment. But for his entertainment, he says Jonah is just like him, human. When he cuts, he bleeds. And we find out we're going to have a Monsters Ball match next week between PCO and Jonah. Like, PCO is a part of this thing, but he's just screaming Jonah. So I'm so excited for that Monsters Ball match. Like, PCO and Jonah have been, like, killing it. Like, PCO is not human. I don't know that, like, that match is going to be amazing. Like, I am so curious to see what it's going to take for Jonah to knock PCO down and keep him down. You know, so I don't know. I'm really excited for that. The main event of the night was a rematch between the Impact World Champion Josh Alexander and Moose. This was a good match. Very good match. I really liked this. I don't know what I think better, this one or their match at Rebellion. But, so right as soon as the match started, Moose, he immediately went after Josh Alexander. Like, and it's so funny that he just, like, shoved the ref right out of the ring. I mean, not right out of the ring, but, like, out of the way. Emotional in this match. Like, he was really upset that he lost his title at Rebellion. But I really like how, like, Josh tried to put Moose in that ankle lock, but he couldn't. And then Moose hit a powerbomb on Josh on the ring apron. There was open palm hand strikes to Moose. Josh Alexander did 2 German suplexes to Moose. He tried a third one, but Moose grabbed the rope, so it prevented Josh Alexander from doing a third one. Oh my God, Josh Alexander with the sharpshooter to Moose. I really like that spot. Moose broke free by grabbing the rope. There was back and forth forearms blows between both men. And towards the end of the match, Moose hit Josh Alexander with a headbutt. Josh reversed it into an ankle lock. Moose broke free, sent Josh flying into the middle turnbuckle, face first. He hit him with the buckle bomb to the top turnbuckle. Josh then hit a power bomb to Moose and hit him with the C4 spike. And Josh Alexander successfully retained his Impact World title. So, like, earlier in this night, Scott D'Amore did say that he was going to handpick an opponent for whoever won this match for Under Siege, and the person he ended up picking was the Stone Pitbull Ishii, who was victorious over Jonah. So we're gonna get Ishii versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World title at Under Siege. I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be an intense match. I'm so excited for that. But oh my god. So tonight's show, great show overall. Tonight's show, I have to give it a Ty Dillinger, a perfect 10. Great post show from Rebellion. Oh my god. But yesterday we found out that the Inspiration are actually stepping away from in-ring action. They released a statement saying that they will indefinitely be stepping away from in-ring action. And they want to thank Scott D'Amore and the entire Impact family. They've had such an amazing experience working with the incredible Impact staff and roster, and they will cherish Impact memories forever. They are excited to start a new chapter in their lives and explore other opportunities that may come their way. Actually, like, I'm sad that they're leaving because I was a huge Inspiration fan. I'm so glad I could have been there live at Bound for Glory to see them debut and win the Knockouts tag titles. Whatever they decide to do, I'll support them. But it's a huge blow and a huge loss for the Knockouts tag team division, especially. But hey, they made history by being the first female tag team to win not only the WWE tag team titles, women's tag titles, but also the Knockouts tag titles. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Rampage. All right, have a great night, you guys. Bye.